you come from a background in operations, but kind of what is your big idea for restaurants, food service in 2022?
The last 2 years, as everybody knows, has been absolutely crazy for everyone, especially in the food industry. And when you look back at all of the innovation and amazing ideas that have occurred over the last 2 years, it's very exciting and very overwhelming. So as we go into 2022 and knowing that it doesn't seem like there's light at the end of the tunnel yet, essentially in terms of supply chain issues and labor opportunities. So for me, I think 2022 is going back to the basics and keeping it simple and focusing on the customer. And of course, that means a lot of different things to a lot of different people. But at the end of the day, at Duck Donuts, what we want to do is to be able to deliver an exceptional product with superior customer service. So that encompasses a lot. It's really simplifying it. But how we're interacting with our customers, what kind of offers we're providing them, the customer service when they walk in, how they're ordering, if they're ordering online or through third parties, and just making sure that we're still delivering that amazing product with that great customer service, I think is the big idea. And it sounds so simple, but of course there's so many things that go into it. And I think it's been very easy for all of us to have just gotten so overwhelmed with everything that's been going on really the last 2 years.
What have been the biggest changes during the pandemic for Duck Donuts, and what do you expect to have stick well into next year and the years after?
The good thing is we found out that donuts are pandemic proof. Everybody was still enjoying donuts, and we had the opportunity to sprinkle happiness when things were really rough. So of course, we made a lot of changes from the operation of how we were executing and making it easier for people to get their donuts. Luckily for us, most of our business is takeout. So people come in and they order, whether they order online or order in the shop, and then they leave. So we have made a lot of changes to our digital experience, making that a cleaner, more customer-friendly experience, which is something that will continue, and then focused on convenience. So when you come into Duck Donuts, you get to watch the entire experience of your donuts once you order being made and then topped right in front of you, and that's great. But sometimes people don't have that ability to wait around or time. So making sure we have the opportunity to give people a convenient, quick delivery of donuts if that's what they're looking for as well. So that's something that really came to the forefront in the last year and a half, 2 years, and something that we'll continue to focus on is, in addition to just the regular ordering at the counter, how do we offer that great ordering experience online? Because it's difficult to build your own donuts online versus in the store. So making that a user experience and continuing to have different limited time offers that change throughout the season has been really important, something that we'll continue to focus on in the future.
What are some of the limited time offers going on now?
So right now it is our holiday assortment, which includes mint icing and Oreo cookie crumbles, which has really been a huge hit that people take to their holiday parties or gatherings. So every season, essentially, we have a different dozen or assortment that's typically themed to the season, as well as different flavors. So for example, in the fall, we did pumpkin and apple, which are really two of our biggest hits.
What do you see as the biggest challenge for you as a CEO in 2023, 2022?
And I would say the biggest challenges is, we're really focused on accelerating growth. We hit that 100 shop mark in 2021, which was exciting. And we plan on opening 40 shops next year and continuing to grow that. So when we talk about accelerating growth, I always make it very clear to our team and to our franchisees that, yes, we want to open more shops. We want to have Duck Donuts, throughout the United States and essentially throughout the globe. But also we need to be focused on our current franchisees and how do we make them more successful? So how are we removing barriers? How are we making them more profitable, and how are we helping them to give them the tools to increase their AUV? So you really have two different worlds that we're focused on, where the growth is very important and we want to continue to do that, but our existing franchisees, our focus is making them more successful.
You started in North Carolina, you're now based in Pennsylvania. How many states do you have franchise units in, and how do you see that expanding?
We have locations in 22 states in the US. We have a lot of opportunity to backfill markets. So that's something we really started focusing on this current year, is how do we backfill those existing markets? So if we have a big market that maybe has one location, we know it can hold 4 or 5 locations, focusing on that. So we really want to do that first, is get some of those markets backfilled. We have a decent presence on the East Coast. There's still plenty of opportunity, but we're very scattered in the Midwest and on the West Coast. So really looking to continue to go west as we move through 2022.
And how many units are you at now? The last story I saw was 102.
We have 106.
106.
Yeah.
Excellent. That's a big system. With growth, what do you see as the challenges that you have to manage?
I would say with growth right now, of course, we're fighting a lot of challenges that everybody else is with construction and timelines and supply chain and not getting material necessarily when we need it. So hopefully we're starting to see that ease up a little bit, and that we'll be able to focus on getting shops open sooner for less money. Of course, costs were rough this year. So of course, we don't want to see the initial investment go up for our franchisees. So focusing on decreasing that initial investment while still providing that really great shop experience.
And as CEO in the year ahead, what are you most excited about? What's your passion and keeps you getting up every morning?
I am so excited for the next for 2022, and really because I think the last 8 months as me as CEO, we made a lot of changes. We changed, people and process and partners, and that came for multiple reasons. Of course, yes, we have a new owner, and yes, there was new leadership, but hitting that 100 milestone mark was a really big deal. And what got us to 100 shops isn't going to get us to 200 or 300 shops. So there was a lot of change and challenges that we went through this year. And now I feel like we're in a really good place. So now that everything has really come into its own, all the puzzle pieces have been fit together. I'm excited for everything just to go, to see all of that hard work pay off. And of course, there's going to be more hard work. I'm not naive enough to think that we just kind of get to sit back and relax next year. But there was just so much work done this year to put us in a really, really good place. So I feel like accelerating that growth is going to be a lot easier next year. So I'm just really excited to watch it all come together.
And I've got to ask you, what's your favorite donut flavor?
I like to keep it simple, actually. So a cinnamon sugar donut with a vanilla drizzle is my favorite.
Fantastic. That sounds like a delicious way to start the new year.
Absolutely. Absolutely.